Hi everybody, this seemed like the thing to do, but I've never told a story before, so
Yeah.
well, come out to the storytelling thing. It's probably a fun time. Yeah, why not? Okay. I'm worried mine's not funny enough, but I'll go with it. Okay. Mine's, they said high points, so I said, sure, let's do that. I have a high point.
Speak up. Speak up.
Fine. How's that? Better? All right, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, I was in the military for a while. Anybody know any military? Because I'll make some references for that. I left the military in about 09, and I got out. And anybody who was around in 09, anybody around in 09? Yeah? No? Anybody here? The economy wasn't the best. Jobs weren't really to be had. It was a difficult time. I lived in central PA. I'm sorry. I know, it's an issue. Small town called Bloomsburg. And I had a job as a mechanic, and it was getting phased out. So I found myself homeless for a little while. I was one of those characters. I had nothing to do. I was running low on money. So I got in the car. I drive a tiny little hatchback. It's called a Daewoo. They don't make them anymore. It's actually, it gets great gas mileage. Shut up, all right? That's enough out of you. And I headed west for a while, and I had nowhere to be. I would drive for a little bit, I would stop, and I would hang out for a little bit. And I had spent all my time, I was in the military. Life was regimented for me. I had things to do. You got up at this time. You did this. You did that. You went to the place. You did the thing. You did it all again tomorrow. So the thought of not having anything to do was a bit of a shock for me. I had a bit of a trouble with it. I didn't know how to deal with myself when I didn't have a thing to do tomorrow. I didn't know how to handle. So I spent some time, I would just travel. I ended up in Pittsburgh, but it's the middle of the story that's the fun trip. I ended up in Pittsburgh. I got a job. I ended up back here. I'm here now. You can see I survived. I have food. I have clothes. I live. I'm alive. I have a job now. I work on things. I'm still a mechanic. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, mechanic. I made it. I survived the struggle. The struggle's real. Thank you. Obama, thanks, buddy. And but in the middle of it, I was traveling west. I would spend a day or two here, a day there. I spent a lot of time in the woods because that was fun. I would just park the car and there I went. I had tents. I had sleeping bags. It was real. It was a real thing that happened. And I had camping gear. I was into camping. That's a story I should have said the first time. I love the camping. So I would go out into the woods. I had my little sternos. I had little pans and stuff. I would snare. I didn't hunt, but I trapped. So I would catch little animals, and that was how I lived for a little while. And the difference that I found, the high point, which this seems like a lot of low points. I understand. It's more of a I know, no, I'm not here to tell a sob story. I was super worried this would be sad and not funny. Everybody else's is hilarious. Mine sucks. Okay, whatever. I would travel into the woods by a river, and I would set up my little sad little tent, and I would set up my little sleeping bag and whatnot, and I would catch a squirrel, and that would be my whole day. It was a lot of fun. But I would wake up tomorrow, and the difference for me is we all wake up now. We're talking about high points. We wake up, and we have a routine, and we hate that. You'll pretend you don't, all you will, but you do. You wake up early. You have to get dressed. You have to shower. You have to go to a thing. You sit there. You pretend like you like it. This is making me money. I'm supporting my family, but you all hate it. Don't even look at me like you don't. Life shouldn't be this way. We're humans. We're animals. We do stuff. We're not supposed to have a regiment. And what was such the high point for me was that I would wake up some days, and I would be like, oh, okay. I'm awake. I'm somewhere in central PA. I got to get in the car and go west. I got to go live. I got to go find life. I got to go find money because that's what you do. And I would just be like, or I could sit here in bed all day. And I would. And I would sit in the woods for an entire day and do nothing. I know, right? Like, just doing nothing. I'm like, nobody can find me here. I don't have a phone. What am I going to do right now? You want me to pay taxes? Yeah, good luck with that. Come on out here. Find me. All right? Find me. I am doing the thing. I am Robinson Crusoe in Pennsylvania. That's a real thing. And life worked out for me eventually. I met people. I got the job, like I said. But I'll always remember the weird time when I was at the point that we consider the low point. You're not supposed to be homeless. We look at those people. You all live in Philly. You've seen them. You're like, that sucks, but I don't have $1. Sorry. It's a really shitty. That's not funny. It's a really shitty thing, and you're not supposed to laugh at that. But it's weird because the most freedom that I've ever had. Freedom was a theme. You might remember. I used to not have any freedom. it's super weird when you don't have to do anything, and you think of it as a low point, but really it kind of perversely turned out to be a bit of a high one for me. That's about all.